also sent me with the other stuff. Yep. So let
Yeah, I
me
think
go.
one covered like the inspection and everything else.
Right.
Tried to anyway.
Let me just pull this off. Okay, so the first one was the
Sit down, okay.
the plumbing, the ticking noise.
Yeah.
Where is that coming from?
Like
I mean, what wall?
it's. I think it's mostly. You hear it mostly in here. I tried because I know the pipes go through this catwalk
Right.
here
Is
all
it
the
when
way.
you turn the hot water on?
Hot water, yeah. I think it's like a little bit expansion,
Okay.
something or other. I know that's going to be fun to make. I'm just worried mostly that wears it that pipe out one day and it goes kaplooey.
It's not even what it is. If they don't clamp on it, depends how when they run them through, and if they haven't put enough, they'll put spacers in there to fill that void or fill that gap. And if they don't put it in tight enough, or they strap the pipe too tight, is when it makes that pop.
Because I know it's like rarely, because it comes. I think it comes down that wall.
Okay.
And then runs all the way, so it's like.
But it's just pop. You're just hearing the pop.
I kind of hear it, but I also hear it in the back, in the bathroom. But I'm not sure. You know, it could be reverberating down the pipe. I don't know.
Okay. Carpet at the stairs.
Yeah. This little thing right there. It's like there's like a hole in the wood, and it just kind of falls in there. Let's see. Let's get to the plumbing. Okay,
The
carpet.
grout and caulking around master tub.
Yeah.
Shower.
Yeah. Yeah, they had sent somebody out to fix it before. Oh my! I think he made it worse almost. Anyway, you know, it kind of foggied up everything, and it's kind of, you know, whatever all this is going on here, and he tried, and I know he had. It's hard to see it now, but you know, it wasn't foggy before. Like all around here, when he did it, he didn't have like a wet nut rag. Maybe he scrape it off or something, but it's all really foggy now because it's just kind of on there. And some of it already had started coming out here. But I don't know if you got some minutes really. He was in a rush.
What he's going to
He was
do
in a
is
hurry.
he'll have to re-silicone this,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's just if he just needs to clean the tile.
Well, not silicone, but the actual sanded grout.
Yeah, I mean, what he'll do is it's a silicone. It's got silicone in
Yeah,
it.
but it's not the white, the clear.
No,
stuff
no,
like
no,
they
no,
do.
no. He's going to do it. It should look like this all the
Okay.
way around.
All right.
So, yeah.
And that's just another. That's a different guy, huh? That's
That's
the tile.
And then the sheetrock edging on the second floor.
Yeah, I can show you that one. And I actually went and taped a few things. Other than that, I had some nails coming through, or I guess the nails didn't really come through, but the sheetrock started falling out, right? So a few pieces actually fell out.
We call them a nail pop. It's wherever they've nailed the sheetrock and then the little hole sometimes will pop out.
But that's the seam. I don't know if they didn't get it nailed or something there,
No.
but it just
What
started.
it is, when your house is settling, it's going to settle within the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do the sheetrock are square corners. Well, when we do rounded corners as a decorative deal, that's what that is. It's just a corner pop. It's what it is. It's that corner bead with the house settling. It's just cracking where the corner bead is, so it's normal.
Well, I was only like the big time. You know, we had them a few times to fix cracks on the stems, but
because that's going exactly with the seam of where because that fits around and then they nail it.
Yep.
And that's all that is just that settling. So that'll be a sheetrocker.
Should we get to?
And then nail pops in the back upstairs bedroom.
Yes, and also had one here. My youngest is actually sleeping up there, but there's 3 of them upstairs in that room.
Okay, so that'll be sheetrock. And then floor noise in back upstairs bedroom.
Yes, when you walk on it, it kind of pops. You know, like maybe it didn't. There's a few boards that didn't get sealed down or something. I know they put quite a few screws.
Well, but we hire a company to come in and screw the floor down, so that it doesn't do that. But sometimes they'll miss.
As far as interior type of stuff, it wasn't on this one either. But my wife pointed out the other day is this little. It's a minor deal, but this little trim board down here, it's cracked. We must have missed that early on. It's like all the way down, kind of. And that's the carpenter.
Correct.
Okay. The guy came out and did do the breakers. It actually popped again the other day, and he showed me the manual where you hold the test button, you know, have the breaker off, hold the test button, turn it on, and if it pops within 2 seconds or something, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I did that again, and it was popping 2 seconds. So I unplugged the washer and dryer, plugged it into a different outlet, did the same test. It didn't pop on the, basically this should be a different circuit. That one right there. Then this one, it wasn't popping at 2 seconds. It was probably like five plus seconds like it's supposed to, I think, by the manual.
So it's popping again, basically.
But okay, so when I did all that, then I plug it back into this, it did fine. So, not really sure if it's the washing machine or the breaker. It's kind of to be determined at this point.
Just let it. I mean, just see what happens. If it starts happening again, then we'll call him out. But if he tests that outlet and it doesn't seem to be anything, it could be.
Yeah, because he
It
also
could just be a loose. Because they tie that plug into the back. They connect that plug into the washer. Before they bring it out. So I don't know if it might be something loose on that.
and he had replaced the actual outlet because it looked like it was an outlet like that one there.
Right.
But he replaced it with the GFCI outlet.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I told him GFCI. He misunderstood me and just replaced it. But that's all right. Because I was thinking the whole circuit was GFCI, and that's what was the problem. It was just kind of
Right. The washer will be on its own dedicated circuit.
It is, but it's not a GFCI circuit. I don't think. But now that he put the outlet,
it probably is, but it's its own GFCI circuit because any outlet located within 6 feet of water has to be on a GFCI.
Okay.
So it probably is a GFCI. It's just on its own GFCI.
Right. Yeah, I think it's
circuit.
until 20 amp circuit.
Right. Just keep an eye on it, and if it pops again, then I'll call them back out
All right.
and we'll see. Let them look at it and see. Let me see.
On this door, she has to prop it up with the. It should be I would imagine a fairly simple deal. And I'd have one question about our garage door too. Not really sure its functionality, but it's got like maybe you can tighten the spring in it. Because I think our neighbors went over there one day and their doors basically slammed shut, right? But are these adjustments? Put an Allen wrench in those?
Yeah, I mean you can get it to
where it'll
I'll
close
get
on
him
its
to
own?
adjust it. Uh-huh.
Okay, because you got to actually just kind of slam it to get it to close. And I guess anything with those doors, that's carpenter fella.
Yeah, I don't know. What I can see. Okay, as far as the back of the house here, if it's got a valley coming here, what we do is we flash it. It's a solid piece of J flashing, basically. It goes up the wall here and then extends out this way. So
the only thing that's concerned me is there's so much coming through here. And you could actually see it. It comes out between this siding and pours out up here. I'm worried, it might be somewhat trickling. If we could get something to get some of that water off with some gutters or something.
Let me talk to my boss and see.
If you are going to build this house down the road, maybe, because I just feel like even just a little bit of water is bad, right? You get a little bit of water in there and eventually it starts rotting.
And as long, I understand what you're saying. Let me get with him and see what he wants to do with that. And then this piece of siding, I'll get the siding guy.
Yeah, that was I'm not sure what happened with that. It
I
got washed out or something, or.
I'll look at it and see though. And then this leak here. I'll be honest with you. I think what that probably is, because we have the same thing at the model. If we get a cold front like we did a couple of weeks ago, is that the first time it showed up?
No,
recently?
it keeps every time it rains now.
Every
And
time
now
it
that I've
rains, it
noticed,
shows
yeah,
up.
it's something
He
going
tested
on.
and he water tested the window.
Yep. Yeah, you can actually feel it. I'll show you. It's actually damp probably right now from the other day. I mean, that one's probably a combination of the window, you know, the flashing tape, etc., around the window, like in.
Well, we don't do flat. We don't do window tape.
See, it's still wet, actually there.
I'll check the outside.
But
The other window.
the flashing around that roof edge there is not done right. None of the windows seem to be showing anything, but my concern is the gradual, ever so slightly seepage of
If it
water.
was, we don't do window tape, and I'll get you a drawing
Why not window tape?
because we just don't.
I mean, y'all did it on the brick side, because y'all actually
maybe they
taped.
may have sealed the seams of the
All of the windows around the brick area had the flashing tape.
We overlap the JIT board over the frame of the window. They may have taped. They may have sealed the joints in the JIT board.
There was actual window tape around it. I'll show you a picture of that if you want me to.
Yeah, show me a picture because we don't unless he
They
put it on
actually put
himself.
the,
We don't because
yeah.
we overlap
The board itself, that was all seamed up, taped up as well on the brick areas. It almost seemed like they did the siding before they got a chance to tape and stuff.
Well, I don't order. I'll put it this way: I don't order window tape with any of the supplies that we order, any of the material we order, because we overlap
All right.
the JIT board over the frame of the window.
So let me just see if I can pull this up. All right, I'll show you this picture of the brick areas that had all the tape, if I can find that picture right quick. But you see how this is the brick area, right? They got the tape around the windows.
We don't supply that, so he did that on his own. Because what we normally do, if they'll use that if they have it, but I don't order that. What we do is overlap the JIT to the window, and then we do Denny board, which is a thin structural board. It's almost like cardboard, but it's water resistant. and
Yeah,
all
the
that.
thermoply.
And then,
But
correct.
I know on some of my pictures I have where it's like bare wood, you can see it. So anytime the water apple gets in there, I know it's going to rot that wood because it doesn't.
Well, everything is. We have a third party inspector that comes around and has to inspect that before I can do
Well, you-
anything, even move past that. And if any of that is showing, he's gonna fail me.
I don't know what he did, how he proved it, because I gotta find the other part. Shoot. Oops, sorry. See how you have. This is wood right here, right?
Right, but what he'll do is he'll take a piece of T-ply and
Nothing
he'll
was
wrap it all the way around
nothing was put around it. Nothing.
there. If we didn't, it would be leaking. You'd have sheetrock damage.
It's like, cause I got another
that
picture.
window.
Once they put it up there, right? Where's it at? Right here. It's just wood. I mean, you can't see it because it's dark, but they didn't put. And there's no tape.
Okay, I'll have to get with the cornice guy. I mean, as far as us pulling all the siding off the back of the house, we're not doing that.
Not gonna pull the siding off and fix it correctly.
We're not
So how do I
pulling
keep
the
it
back.
from all rotting?
If it was leaking, if it was not flashed right, you would have you'd have water damage all on your sheetrock. Your sheetrock is right up.
Well, it's not.
in
It's
walls
not
of
the major water that's concerning me. Like on the inside, it's the outside that's slowly going to rot as the water just sits there.
It's sealed up. I mean, we have Denny board. I mean, we have the foam board over everything, which is water resistant.
Except for right here,
Sealed
there was
up.
nothing there.
If he has to pull that trim off, then I'll have to see what he does. I'll have to get with the cornice guy though and have him come look at it.
But
As far as pulling all the siding off the back of the house, no, we're not.
as far as the standard, y'all don't put any tape around windows.
We don't do. That's not our standard. No, we do. We overlap it with the jip board, and then we do the thermal ply.
Jip board is the
That's the green board that you've seen.
the foam.
Mhm.
The foam. Okay, the blue. All right. And then you don't tape up the blue board like you did here. You see how it's got tape here around the windows.
No, we don't use the window tape, but this has to be taped up, and the inspector comes by and looks at that.
All right. Well, that doesn't make any sense because all the windows says you got to use tape, right?
No, there's several different ways you can flash a window. Several different ways. I've built houses for 19 years. I've been with 3 different builders, and I use
Yeah.
window
Well,
tape
I
for
understand.
3 years with one
I
builder.
understand that. I mean, it's probably good for a while, but eventually
Because over time, theory is with the tape. Over time, houses last a long time. That stickiness is going to start to come.
Yeah,
With the heat
yeah.
and humidity, and if it starts to come loose here and
Yeah.
rolling down, your
Yeah.
windows are exposed. The T-ply, it's
I
there.
mean, I know the siding's supposed to last like 30 years. I'm just worried about the structure underneath kind of rotting out, and then we
It's-
got
it's-
problems.
Okay, but you got to think about this. Okay, the siding is overlapping up to this window. Okay, then after that, you've got a piece of trim that goes over that's caulked all the way around that window.
That didn't caulk the
So
windows.
water, huh?
They didn't even caulk the windows.
Windows are caulked.
Are they?
Mhm.
All right.
I'm telling you, if these weren't flashed right, especially that arch window, you'd already have water damage in here.
Yeah.
But there's several different ways to flash a window. Just because an inspector gives you a sheet and says, "Hey, this is how it's supposed to be done," that's not necessarily the way it has to be done. Because we have a third party inspector that does a frame inspection. Okay, so granted, he can't see these, but we're flashing these side windows the same way we're flashing these back windows. He will not pass it if there's a hole in the jip, not even around the window. If I have a hole in the jip board, he'll fail it
Okay.
because he wants no penetrations where water can get in.
Yeah. But like that one spot, definitely it was just wood when they put it on there. Unless when they come out that
What was just wood?
the little piece right, that little one. Sorry, go right in here. See how that siding went on there just like that.
Nah, I don't know. I'll ask.
I mean,
see.
if we pull that trim
because he's
off,
gonna pull. There should be Denny board wrapped around that. And if you go that other one, I think it's almost dark.
well,
color.
it's dark colored
That's
because
not plywood.
this is actually a zoomed in picture. Excuse me for that.
No, I mean-
it is what it is. But there's another picture. I got one. You could see like down here there was a gap before this got on here. You could actually see the blue. Here you can't see blue because it's there's a gap there, so it's a shadow, so it's really dark. And you can almost see the blue in here. But
I'll have
I
to
mean,
get with him. I'll have to get with him with this picture, and I'll have him come over and look at it.
I really would like to take because that at least around.
Well, like I said, I'll get with him and look at it, and if he'll come over and look at it, and if it's not done, then he'll do
Yeah,
it.
because once like the year's gone, right, and then
No,
this
that's
starts
not true.
failing.
If it's a workmanship thing where things weren't done right workmanship wise, then no, we're gonna come back and fix
Yeah.
it. We're not gonna just go, oh well, it's leaking now. Oh, it wasn't flashed right. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Perfect example. Okay, you see the Denny board over there on that 2-story wrapped around that arch window.
Yeah, yeah,
With
it
the
could.
plastic over the
That's
top.
the brick side. The brick
It doesn't
side
matter.
is
We
perfect.
do every window the same.
The bricks like that looks good, right? But the that wasn't done on here. It
We were
is
taking
like,
pictures before everything was done. They could have stopped with and waiting.
well,
on
I
material to
had
come.
so. What do you mean? So that how you got the thermoply around that window?
above the arch.
So I do got a picture. Unless they somehow magically got that thermoply in one of these holes, right? So I got. Sorry, give me a second to find that one of them where they had it. Maybe it was this one. See right here? That's just the foam. They didn't put no thermoply and then put the
That's
siding.
what I'm telling you.
And it's not. They
They'll
put
lay-
the
they can overlap that foam.
the flange of the windows over the top of the foam.
No, I don't think so. It's overlapping.
Not by
you can-
much.
It's overlapping still. It's gonna make that water.
Well, what about
run
this
down.
part right here? See, you can definitely see the top of that.
Okay, I just said that I'll have him come over.
Okay.
And
Oh,
I'll have
I-
him look at the pictures, and we'll see what he thinks he needs to do with it.
All right.
Okay.
What else we got?
And I'm also gonna have him look at this window too and water.
Yeah, that could be a combination of that the seal that's not. There's no kick out up here on this edge here. All that water's just running into the house.
AC.
I got this problem with this. First, this doesn't look very good, in my opinion. The actual coils don't. Maybe it's some kind of unit that maybe they should have kicked back to the manufacturer.
Okay.
And I don't know where the leak is coming from already because the guy said that it's not performing correctly. It's already not cooling enough, right?
Well, I pulled your inspection report from when you closed on the house to this guy, and the first guy didn't say anything was wrong with the temperature.
Well, it was still fine,
Okay.
right? So over time, the coils, for whatever reason, Freon shouldn't leak really, it should stay in, but it's not cooling. The temperature differentials is
Okay.
not for something that's a year old because that stuff's expensive.
Okay.
And also the warranty, I did exactly how y'all emailed me to submit that warranty, and I go to the manufacturer's website, and it's only at 5 years.
But it may be a 10-year through the AC company, our AC company.
It should be manufacturer. If they submitted it on time, it should still show up as a 10-year.
Okay. Well, I'll get with them. They handle all of that. So
And they had told me they took care of it. I was like,
Okay.
10 years.
And that's I'll get with them on that because that once you close and you submit it, that's all their stuff. I don't
Yeah.
get anything.
Yeah.
You get anything on that. As far as the AC stuff, I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna let them know every issue that you have here. Mm-hmm. They will contact you and they will come out and look at it and address what they need to address.
Because there's a bit, I mean, that stuff's real expensive these days, so.
Okay,
That's
tipping
the problem.
noise, we talked about that. This is a utility company. This has nothing to do with me at all. This is the gas company. This wire, this is not a ground wire. What this wire is they wrap that around their gas line that goes underground so that if you're ever digging or anything like that, they come out and they mark where the gas line is. That's the way that they can find the gas line.
So I don't got to do nothing with that. That ain't going to blow up nothing. It's not supposed to be attached, just a wire. All right. All
It's a
right.
metal wire. It's a wire so that they can run
Run the little
they
scanner.
can scan the ground. And they
All
know
right.
where
All right. All right.
This, you'll have to, if you're not happy with that, you'll have to call the gas.
So they would come out here and paint it.
We-
Well,
we
as
don't
far
do
as the
anything.
rust or whatever.
We don't
Oh,
do
you mean
anything.
like the.
We don't do anything. We're required to get this stub out of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it. All right.
The rest is theirs.
Wasn't a huge deal. I was just worried about that because that was kind of at some point in time. I think it was just tucked into some piece in here, but I wasn't sure if that was like a grounding issue for like a.
It's not a ground wire.
ESD that might
That's a
ignite
wire
the
so
gas.
that they can track.
Okay.
For the underground is. This I'll get him to repaint that.
So all the lentils, there's about 10 of them, I think. They all got rust.
It's
I
gonna,
do.
when it
Is it
comes
gonna
out,
use
it's a red
a,
iron anyway, and we have to paint it, and so it.
Do they use like a rust paint or just a regular old paint on
It's
it?
just an exterior
Exterior paint.
latex that they have, or exterior enamel. Okay, we'll get that done. I'll get that filled in. That's on the front porch.
And then there's
Fill
some
that
cracks
in.
around the windows. I don't know how many there are, but if they go around looking at all of them. That's the front window. I guess they forgot they didn't caulk that one, but they caulked the other one.
Okay. I'll get him to do that. I'll get him to nail that on better, the drip edge.
Mm-hmm. And that was like a defective board. My wife pointed that one out. It's hard to see. There's a notch in it. It doesn't look so pretty, but
Is that on the front over the garage?
it's on the front of the garage.
Okay.
And that's the one side is showing green. Needs some more paint on it or something. The other side actually looks like a knot might be coming bad on it. I think this is the left side. The right side looks like it's like it had a knot in it. It's kind of just starting to fall apart.
Slab repair chipping.
Yeah, that's on that side of the house. I know when it was poured, it was kind of a hole there, and they filled it in,
Okay.
and it started falling out.
And then a screen.
And that's just a little piece that's coming out of the screen. A little teeny piece coming out of there.
What side of the house?
That's left side. Or
Right
right
side.
side, sorry. Over that way.
Try and get that filled in. Get that filled in.
I think both of them got bit holes. Bugs
Okay.
might come in or something.
Filled in. That's fine.
Correct. That's right here on that side of the porch.
Okay. Okay, get the carpet guys out to fill that in. We talked about that.
Roof looked good, other than that valley back there. And, oh yeah, that right there. I don't know what that was. That was kind of there when we first got here. Are they going to replace shingles, or are they going to throw some chemicals on that?
Now I'll have to get with the roofer and see.
Alright.
Have him up there to see.
And it's like it's coming out from under that flashing up there. I bet the paint,
Well, it
the
may be
paint's
the-
chipping
what
off
happens
of that.
too is sometimes you'll get some effervescence that come off of the brick,
Mm-hmm.
and it may be washing
Okay.
down onto there. I'll
And
get
that
with
was the actual
those.
moisture meter. Will they come out and redo that sheetrock for that window?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because
find
my
out.
biggest thing about all that water stuff is
Well,
also
it's not necessarily. We're gonna find out where it's leaking from first,
Mhm.
and then we'll
Yeah.
go from there.
is all that mold. I know
Yeah,
we
it's
deal
not-
with
if
we
it's-
deal with this at our old house. You know, after
if it's
certain
not
number of
a
years.
continuous leak where it's got to be continuously leaking, like a plumbing pipe sitting there not drying out, and that's when you start to
Yeah.
get the mildew. And all
Yeah, we
that
had
stuff.
a spot on our fireplace at our old house where every time it rained, a little bit of water get in there and it just turned to mold.
Yeah,
And
no, it's got to be wet constantly. Okay, caulking underneath. Our third-party inspector requires us to caulk underneath that. So if you
Okay.
want to pull that off, you can. But we leave it. Get these sealed up. I'll get
that's a caulking. What is that?
That's
the name
underneath
of
your
the
breaker.
breaker
Your
box.
emergency shut-offs on the AC.
Yeah, that's probably not a huge deal, I suppose.
Get
So that's at that window that's actually leaking there
Okay.
too. But and that was the diagram they did for the kick out. I know there was an issue when it didn't look right, so then they just took it and put a piece of flashing over. I'm not sure if that flashing is, all the water just going behind that wall there. So
I'll get him to look at it.
that's
fine.
the holes thing. That's
It's
the
a caulking pan.
And
It's
that's
the
the-
siding missing. What was this one?
the cracks in the back door. It's already got the paint guy. Okay, and that's kind of how I sure as hope there's something over this wood before they put that siding on there.
No, we have to put this green board has to be over this. So what we have to flash this in 1st because that's going to protect the window seal and all that. And then no, we don't do the siding. No,
But did they pull this off and then
they
put the
tack
board?
it on here just to keep it down,
Hold
and
it
then
there.
the jip goes up underneath it, and this overlaps the jip. Because if you have a leak in water, it's going to come down. It's going to hit the plastic, and then it's going
And
to
it
roll
goes over
over
that.
over the green board.
I know, like, what was it? These windows.
Mhm.
There was none of that plastic there.
And he may not have. He's not going to set it in until he does the window. So they're going to come back and do, because these windows were missing and we had to order them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to come back and do it before he puts it in. Because I can't pass inspection. You can see that black plastic from the inside because it's got to line that window. I cannot pass an inspection. I can't proceed with the house if any of that is not done
Mm-hmm.
from our third party inspector,
And that third party inspector is who?
Don Tippett.
Don Tippett?
QIS inspection.
QIS. Okay. All right. That's all right. I can remember that. I think.
Okay, so we've got this is that crack up here.
Yeah. So you don't tape any windows whatsoever.
We don't, when we order our material, we do not order window tape. If he has window tape in his truck from somewhere else, then and he's using it, so be it. But no, we overlap the jip on the window, and then that Denny board, that T-ply goes over.
The T-ply goes over the foam board?
Goes over the foam board and over the window. Sides go down first, and then you put a strip at the top.
They didn't do that on this one, I'm pretty sure, but that's all right. I guess they'll come out there and rip it off and see what to do with it.
I'll look and see what he needs to do.
What was that, babe? Nothing there. Okay, this was the air condition. The duct work was too close to the ventilation.
Just get AC. We'll look at that when they come out. And then air conditioning filters heavily clogged.
Yeah, so when we first moved in, we go to change the filter the first time. I had actually emailed them. They don't respond well. I don't know what their deal is, but I took the filters out, and that inside, past the filter, going into the unit, there was insulation bits and crap all in there. And the filter arrow was actually pointed the wrong way. So I'm not sure, maybe somebody at some point pulled it out and maybe like put it back in the wrong way and all that got sucked in there. But I'm really worried about the coils being clogged up pretty good with the breeze.
I'll have them look at it, but I mean, it's a new unit. I don't think it's damaged already. I think they'll come out and they'll look at it. They're gonna see the temperature differential, do the adjustments that they need to do, and I'll tell them. I'm gonna basically what all he has on here is what I'm giving them, and they'll come out and go through it. Okay, R8 ducts. He's saying that you need R8 ducts in the attic, that the ducts aren't up to code. It's not true. You have a 16 SEER unit, so which is considered a high performance unit. So on a high performance unit, you only need R6 ducts. If you had only a 14 SEER unit is when you would need the R8 ducts.
Okay.
Okay. So he's saying excessive air. I'll give all of this to them.
Yeah, you could kind of feel the air coming out of all that mess.
Okay.
And they're not a good way to get to the coils, for annual cleaning.
Well, I'll be honest with you. If they know you're cleaning your own coils and not having an AC person do it, then
I ain't touching them.
Right. So it's an AC person will know how to get to
Because
it.
they, the old one, you take the panel off, but they gummed that one all up with the tape and goopers.
Yeah, no, there's not. I mean, they're gonna want somebody, a licensed AC person to do it. What's a good schedule or day or whatever I can line the AC people up, get the trim guy in here to do this. Well, I'm not gonna get the painter in here till very last because he's gonna have to do the sheetrock stuff, the trim, and all that.
Mondays are always good. Do they work weekends?
Most likely not.
No. Mondays.
So Mondays.
Mondays.
Okay, so Monday I'm gonna have I'm gonna schedule the sheetrockers to do this, the plumber, the carpet people, the sheetrockers. I'll see what the schedule is for the cornice guy because I also want him to run water on this back window too.
They sprayed that window already.
And the window guy will spray it, but I want him to spray it also because he'll spray above it to see if it is flashing and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll get it water tested again, but I'll have him look at what he needs to. Okay, so we have the plumber, carpet people, sheetrockers, trim guy on Monday, AC people, then plumber, and then after that, then I'll get the cornice guy to look at his stuff, look at this kick out, look at this kick out.
Oh, they get some of that water off of that valve
Yeah,
there.
and then he may build a cricket. I don't know what he's gonna do, so we'll look at it and see what he can.
Because I know I got a little diverter thing. They can get at least some of that and some gutter on that side. So at least
Well, if you got it, there's nowhere to divert this water though coming down in that.
we go
valley.
over to this side.
I'll see what he comes up with.
And y'all don't do this either.
Because
Because all I got is a friggin' caulking in those joints, and then
That's all we
beans that none of the
Because you've got the green board behind it.
that wasn't
Water
taped,
barrier.
wasn't taped in.
Okay. Let me make calls then, and I'll call them. Get everybody set up for Monday then.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.